As I continued down the street, I noticed several groups of people. Just across the road was a group of men with rifles. They appeared to be having fun shooting the zombies rather than trying to escape. In the alley, I could just about see a group of teenage boys armed with a variety of makeshift melee weapons. A few meters from where I was standing, a paramedic and an armed police officer were helping a wounded man, and as I glanced over my shoulder, I saw a group of survivors from my office building, heading in the same direction. I decided that it was probably best to team up with other survivors.
The men with rifles are probably idiots. The teenage boys might be good. The man might kill us all, and co-workers piss off, so teenage boys.
I made my way to the teenage boys and began following them down the street. I told the group that I thought we should try to find some transportation to get out of the city center. One of them suggested we go to the parking area a few blocks down. We quickly agreed to our strategy and made our way down the street. As we approached the car parking area, we noticed a few infected wandering idly around the entrance. There was no real way to avoid them. Clutching whatever makeshift weapons we had, and tried to engage them. At first things seemed to be going well. We knocked one of them to the ground and someone managed to smash his head with a rock. However, it wasn't long before we got careless, and one of us was bitten. Eventually the noise from all the commotion had attracted yet more inflicted, and we soon found ourselves hopelessly outnumbered, with little hope of escape. Walked over to the men with rifles. While I enjoyed the relative safety the guns provided, they seemed to be attracting a lot of attention from the infected. As time went on, more and more of them advanced on our position. Eventually the men began to run out of ammunition, and the infected quickly surrounded us. There was no escape.
Yeah, I couldn't think of that. Alright then, paramedic.
I walked over to the group with the wounded man and began to help.
Was mental skills and unlikely to leave you behind, they would be seriously hindered by the man. May or may not turn out to be infected again.
I told the group that I thought we should try to find some transportation to get out of the city center. One of them suggested we go to the parking area a few blocks down. We quickly agreed to our strategy and made our way down the street. As we approached the car parking area, we noticed a few infected wandering idly around the entrance. There was no real way to avoid them. After some heated discussion, somebody from the group eventually stepped up. He began making such a noise as he could, running in circles around the infected. My plan worked and they began to follow him away from the entrance. The rest of us swiftly made our way inside and began to search for a suitable vehicle. We were so wrapped in what we were doing that we forgot about our brave volunteer. We never saw him again. We eventually found a few different options for vehicles in which we could make our escape. On the far side of the parking area, we found a pair of road motorbikes. Closer to us was a four-wheel drive all-terrain Jeep, a large freight truck, and a convertible sports car.
Motorbikes wouldn't be that safe because it's jumping around pebbles. A Jeep would be good, four wheels. Freight truck would be too big and turning forward. Sports car is too fast. Jeep.
I suggested that we take the Jeep, and the others quickly agreed. Having the ability to go off-road if necessary would be incredibly useful, especially since many roads would have been blocked with traffic, accidents, or zombies. approached the Jeep and peered inside. To our dismay, we saw a pair of infected inside,
Crap.
desperately clawing at the windows in an attempt to escape. I made my suggestion, but the others didn't listen.
Ah,
They really wanted that Jeep, and a few zombies weren't going to stand in their way.
idiots.
The others immediately flung open the doors and started trying to drag the zombies out. However, without my help, they were having serious trouble, and it seemed like they would most likely end up dead if I didn't intervene.
See you, losers.
I headed towards the sports car and didn't look back.
Oops, sorry. I climbed across the chosen vehicle and sped away from the car park onto the main street. By then, the roads were littered with bodies and car wreckages. It was all I could do to avoid them. Everywhere I looked, I could see only scenes of carnage. It seemed that those that were really infected were fighting while losing battle. My thoughts quickly turned to my wife. I tried to tell myself that she would be okay, but they didn't stop the horrible feeling in the pit of my stomach. I knew had to get home as soon as possible. Spell wrong. Well, wrong grammar. In the distance I could see a gas station with a few zombies on the forecourt. I quickly glanced out the fuel gauge, saw I only had about half the tank remaining.
I pulled up onto the forecourt, got out of the vehicle, and began to pull up the gas tank at the pump. However, within a few short moments, the infected began to notice me and started heading in my direction. As they started to get close, I decided that it would be best to escape while I still could. As I pulled away, I glanced down at the fuel gauge. It had barely gone up at all. I continued down the road before turning onto the main highway out of town. However, it wasn't long before I noticed a mass of vehicles blocking the road ahead. The combined sound of all the honking,